Today we're going to be making an Apex Legends tactical tier list. You guys really liked my Apex Legends ultimate tier list. Some people hated it. Some people were like, you're stupid macro and you should go jump off a cliff. But the people that did like it, thank you so much for that. Just like the ultimate tier list, we're ranking these tacticals in a vacuum. What that means is, imagine each of these legends were dummies, meaning they had no other abilities except a tactical. Whose tactical is the best tactical? Whose tactical is the worst? Does that make sense? No? Whatever, we're still gonna start. So right off the bat, let's start with Bangalore. Bangalore has one of the best tacticals in the game. She has smokes. And yes, I know they nerfed the smokes slightly. The smokes are still really good. They're insane for cover. They're great for rotations. They come on a very short cooldown. And for some reason, she gets 2 of them. This tactical is really good by itself, but having 2 on a pretty decently short cooldown is kind of nuts. And especially when you pair it with the digi threat, where you can see through the smoke with your sight. Like, that's crazy to me. They can't see you, but you can see them. Do I think like the tactical itself is super game breaking and like really strong? Actually, yes, I do. Right off the bat, we're starting very strong. Bangalore's tactical, S tier. I don't even think there's a debate. Smokes are good. So as you guys know, smoking is good for you. No, wait, pause. Moving on. Our next victim, none other than Fuse. Fuse has essentially unlimited grenades on a cooldown. These grenades are honestly pretty forgiving. You could miss pretty badly, like look, I've missed, and you're still gonna get some decent damage. See that? Kind of broken, dude. If you think like, oh, I'm safe and I'm gonna hide behind this door. Nope. I say no to doors. That door's gone. So Fuse is easily the greatest person for destroying doors. So if I was a dummy and I only had Fuse's tactical, which by the way, you have 2 of, because for some reason, you know, one's just not enough, I would be pretty happy with it because this tactical does some work, especially when you stick it on an enemy. I do think there are slightly better tacticals that do a little bit more for the team. And yes, while it's nice to have unlimited grenades on cooldown, you can also just carry grenades. Is it annoying as hell to deal with? Yes. Is it god tier broken? I don't really think so. But I do think it's a lot better than people give it credit for. So I'd probably put it in the top of B tier. I think that's like honestly pretty fair. Who's next? Next we have Ashe. Guys, we got to talk about this. I think Ashe's tactical is one of the most underwhelming tacticals in the game. You probably already forgot what it does. Look, check this out. Oh, you get trapped. You get, wow, it does 20 damage and they're trapped for like a couple seconds. If you're shooting it at a dummy, it seems pretty good because you're like, oh my God, we just trapped them. But 99% of the time, you're not going to land it on them because they're going to be a moving target or they're going to be like in cover. So it won't even matter. If you do land it, it's like kind of nuts because you can land it and now they can't move. And they're like an easy kill. In reality, landing it is going to be pretty difficult unless you're literally already in close range with them anyway. And at that point, you're going to be fighting regardless, right? One of my biggest gripes that I have with this tactical is that it takes so long to get across the map. Like if I'm trying to like hit this guy, it's just so slow, and I think it should be faster. If Bangalore can have 2 smokes, and if Fuse can have 2 knuckle clusters, and if all these other legends can have multiple of their tacticals, I don't understand why Ashe only has 1 mediocre tactical. I can't do anything but put it in D tier. That's me. There's just so many better options, including a knuckle cluster, which is already there. So I'm saying, I think it's one of the worst ones without a doubt. Not even gonna debate it. Up next, we got Mad Maggie. Mad Maggie's drill is pretty damn sick, because someone's trying to hide behind cover, or behind a door, they're gonna take a ton of damage, and then you can come in and just destroy them. And I think that's a big deal. I think Mad Maggie is already a pretty solid breacher, but if you just had the drill by itself, no other abilities, I do think it's a little bit underwhelming, but the fact that it can go through walls is a huge deal. It's like one of the only things that can do that. See that? That's kind of cool. So it has different utilities and different moments where it has a ton of value. So while I do think at times and in some specific situations it's very good, I would say most of the time you'd rather just have like a grenade or just another tactical. So I think Mad Maggie's tactical, it's not terrible. I think it's a C tier 1. A little bit overrated. Now we have Ballistic. Ballistic's tactical could be better. I thought it would be more overpowered because it's basically a lock-on smart pistol. Like you see how it's like locking on. So I don't even have to look and it hits. It is at minimum a guaranteed 20 damage. I do think that it's a lot better than people give it credit for, but at the same time, it's still kind of a mid tactical. Let's be honest here. Probably right below Mad Maggie in C tier. I think that's a fair spot to put Ballistic. Pathfinder, oh man, Pathfinder, dude. I think Pathfinder has one of the coolest tacticals in the game. And if I was a dummy with just a grapple, I would be extremely happy, extremely satisfied. The one thing that does suck about the grapple is that if you do it correctly, you have an insanely long cooldown. The fact that I'm still talking right now and I haven't really really stop talking and we're still on cooldown is crazy. We're still on cooldown. Beyond that though, I think it's one of, if not the best movement ability. This gives you movement not just on the vertical side, but on the horizontal, and you can just do some crazy shenanigans with it. Even though the cooldown is crazy long, I genuinely think Pathfinder's tactical is an A tier tactical. It's just solid. In the right hands, it's disgusting. You can use it in every single way, in every direction. There's no other tactical that can do that effectively. The cooldown sucks, that's why it's not S tier, but damn, it's a great movement option. Next, we have Wraith. Wraith is one of the few characters in the game that has a get out of jail free card. So if you're getting shot at, like you're in a fight, and you want to escape, it is the safest escape tool in the game because you just get away. You don't have to worry about getting shot. You can get into cover. You can heal. You can do whatever you need to do. And I think that's really solid. I think it's really cool to have like a reset button in a very aggressive, very intense game. The thing that does suck is that it doesn't really provide her any mobility in terms of verticality. What it does provide her is survivability. And survivability really matters in a battle royale game. Where would that put her though? I would say like low A tier is fair for Wraith's tactical. That's where I'm at with it, you know? Next up, we got none other than the Octane. Oh yeah! See, that's a good impression. Let's be honest here, guys. I actually personally think that Octane Stim, the risk reward is just too much. The amount of health that you chunk off yourself is just way too high. I don't like how much health it costs. I mean, I love the fact that the cooldown is super low, but like I just hate how much health it takes. And it's like super lame because it shouldn't. It's not even that much of a speed boost. He's like the only character that has a downside to his tactical. Until they do something about his stim, taking too much of his health, I do think it's a good movement option. It's not one of the best. And I think it's top of C tier. I'm gonna be real. Oh, we got Revenant Reborn. I keep talking about how there are better movement options. Revenant Reborn is one of those better movement options. You have the ability to either do a quick burst of movement, a little quick burst. Like I just clicked it once. Look at that quick burst on a pretty okay cooldown. It's not that long. And then you also have the ability to do an insane burst of movement. You can charge it. Wow. And you can do that mid-fight. You can do that whenever you need to. It's honestly such a great burst of movement, and it's the reason why Revenant feels so fun to play right now and feels so good. Where does that put him, though? I would say that Revenant's movement is just like a slightly worse version of Pathfinder's movement. So I do think it is A tier, but just like right below Pathfinder. I think that's a very safe spot to put Revenant Reborn's tactical. Next up, we have Horizon. Horizon, busted tactical. This tactical is better than some ultimates. You have the ability to go pretty much like the highest in the game, dude. And the best part, this is a team-based game. So not only does it help you go high up, but your team can go high up. It's insanely good. It is probably one of, if not the best tactical in the game. So let's be honest here, guys. Like, you can heal on it, you can shoot on it. That's another thing too. You get movement while being able to still shoot. You get to like the highest point on almost every map. It's crazy. I think Horizon's ultimate, could it be? There's no way. It's so early though. Are you sure? Do you hear the angels? Do you hear them? S plus. Mwah. Just like absurdly good tactical. It's too good. Next up, we have Valkyrie. Valkyrie's tactical is a bit underwhelming. Yes, it has crazy range. You can like do some shenanigans with it. Like you can really land it. And the damage, it's fine. It's like a worse grenade. You know, it's good in the end game though. Like it has its moments and it does create a little bit of space. And I do love how much range it has, but it's worse in close range. I'd probably put Valkyrie's tactical, I think high C above Octane. It's not bad. I just think that there's just better damaging tacticals and better spacing tacticals as well. We're on to the Recon legends. Our first Recon legend, Bloodhound. Everybody, let's be honest. Scanning is cool. Scanning is busted. Scanning is useful for the whole team. Scanning is nuts. It can help you through smokes. It can help you through just chaos and clutter. The scan is just so helpful for you and your whole team. There's never a scenario where the scan is bad. Like, it's just useful information, and information is the key to success. Knowledge is power. Bloodhound's tactical, I'd put it above Bangalore. In S tier, we love to see it. Next up, we have Crypto. Man, Crypto's entire kit revolves on the drones, so it's kind of hard to discuss it, but basically, his tactical allows for him to throw the drone, and then you can hold down the tactical to control the drone. So controlling a drone, if I was a dummy and all I had was a drone that I can control, no EMP or nothing, it's definitely the second best scan in the game. For Crypto to get value with the drone, you're gonna either have to aim like the drone throw in a pretty good angle and it gets destroyed really easily, or you have to control it like this and now you're not in the fight. So there's just a lot of downsides to using the drone. Probably just solid B tier. I think that's a fair place to put crypto. Next up, we have Sear. They did Sear dirty. Sear's tactical no longer stops revives, which was like the main thing that made Sear better than Bloodhound for a long time. It does come out a little bit faster, and it also technically has like a Sombra effect where it turns off their abilities. This scan is just significantly worse than Bloodhound's because you have to aim it accurately. Where Bloodhound, you can just spam the scan and you'll get instant value for the team. Sear's entire tactical requires a ton of aim. If you just miss it, you're just embarrassed. You're just like, ugh, can't do anything about it, you know? You could straight up walk out of it pretty easily. It's super avoidable. That's the part that kind of sucks. I'd say bottom D tier. Not completely F. I think if you can land it, it has some parts of it that are decent, but it's just so outclassed by every other scan. I can't justifiably put it any higher than bottom of D. On the next one, Vantage. Vantage is tactical.
Go get it.
It would be so much better if there wasn't this goofy windup. Like, just let her jump. It relies on you, like, calling, like, Echo first. You're already kind of, like, behind. You have to wait for this stupid bird to come in. So if you want to go this way, like, I can't just go there immediately. I have to wait for the Echo to get there. And then I have to wait for this cooldown to jump. It's just the worst Revenant tactical. Revenant can do that, but instantaneously without having to wait. So the fact that she has to wait for like Echo to follow around is honestly like pretty disappointing about it. Vantage, probably like top of B tier. It's still good movement, but it's just 100% outclassed by Revenant's movement. It just does the same thing, you know? Next up, we have Gibraltar, aka Gibby. Gibby's tactical, we know what this does. It's a freaking bubble. This bubble protects you from everything. You can bubble dance, you know the bubble dance where you like fight in and out of the bubble? It's extremely versatile. It's one of the best free covers in the game. It's good for rotating. It's good for being aggressive. It has so much utility nonstop. The bubble is pretty dope. All my homies were bubble boys. Okay, we're a bunch of bubble boys. Gibraltar, honestly, bottom S tier. I think bottom S tier is fair. That would be a nuts tactical to have. Next up, we have Lifeline. Lifeline's tactical is the healing drone. And the healing drone heals your health pretty damn fast. I think it's really good because it allows for you to not have to carry a bunch of meds all the time. I think the one thing that holds it back drastically is the fact that it's very immobile. Normally, if I have to pop a battery or have to pop like anything, I can still move a bit around. Normally, you're not just standing still healing all the time. Sometimes you need to move and heal on the go. So normally I'm able to like pop this bat and keep going. But look, the moment I get a little bit too far from the drone, I can't heal. So I'm kind of forced to just kind of stick in an area. And most of the time, this is a very mobile game. This is a very fast-paced game. Anything that forces you to stay put is not a great tactical in the long run. The lack of mobility really does put it back a little bit. So I'd probably put it like a solid B tier legend tactical. I think that's fair. Next up, we have Mirage. You have a clone. The clone's on a very short cooldown. And, you know, you can control it. You can just choose to shoot it out. But in the year of our Lord and Savior, 2023, ain't nobody falling for Mirage decoys, man. I mean, like, yes, you'll fall for it, but like the moment you shoot at it, you're like moving on. You're not like, oh god, it's where is he at? Like you can usually keep track of the Mirage. It's not that hard. I mean, let's be honest, guys. The clone has always been very underwhelming. One of the cool parts about it is that you can make it do funny stuff, but it's one of the worst tacticals, man. And unlike Bangalore smokes, or Fuse tactical, or Catalyst, or Caustic, or every other legend, you only get one at a time. He would be significantly better if you can spam out like 2 different clones, like boom, boom, boom. I think you could straight up give him 3 clones and he wouldn't even be that good still. They refuse to buff my boy Mirage because they hate him. Mirage, you're better than Sear, better than Ashe. D tier. That's all I'm gonna say. Loba. Loba's bracelet, I just feel like she should be able to throw it further. Look, I can't even get to the top. That sucks. So it doesn't have any verticality, really. It has like a decent amount of verticality, not that much. Thank God I can get up.
Activating jump drive.
I couldn't even get up there. I personally think Loba is very overrated. A lot of people really like her. I could care less. I think her tactical is so mid. It has one of the biggest problems that no other tacticals in this game really have. You don't maintain your momentum. I'm like sliding. I'm on a run. You look at that. I was forced to like slow down there. It sucks. If you kept your momentum going into Loba's tactical use, it'd be so much better and so much more useful for different type of pushes and scenarios. And on top of that, you can't like shoot or anything too. Like other legends can like shoot and stuff while moving. Like not Loba. Loba has to wait. Loba has to wait for that to come down. Where's my gun? I can't put my gun out. I have to wait. Awful. Like B minus, like low B. Newcastle. Newcastle has like a slightly worse Gibby bubble, but also a slightly better one because you have the ability to control it. Then again, it can also be destroyed, but I think the fact that you can control it makes it super versatile, unlike Gibby's bubble in different scenarios. This is what Lifeline's drone wishes it could do. Dude, why is Newcastle just better than Lifeline and everything? And it's on a pretty short cooldown. The moment it's over, you only have to wait like 11 seconds and you can just whip it back out. So if I was like a dummy and all I had was this protective shield, I'd be pretty happy with it. Not as good as Gibby. Probably put it like high B tier, like top of B tier. Just better than Lifelines. Up next, our newest legend, Conduit. Like mid-fight, I'm like running away. I do this for like 2 seconds. It's like I basically popped a battery while moving. It's like bunny hop healing. Now I'm coming back and you thought like, I thought I cracked you. No, you didn't. I have full health again. Like that's nuts, dude. It's nuts. And it heals not just you. It's not selfish at all. It heals you and it heals your teammates. You could use it selfishly, but eventually it'll heal your teammates as long as it's still like on its cooldown thing, which is like pretty sick. It's a free shield battery mid-fight. Yes, it eventually goes away, but who cares? You already won the fight. Conduit, hot take, S tier. I think it's an S tier tactical. I think it's so damn good. If I was a dummy with that, it would be a good day. Now we're on to the controller legends, and the first one is Caustic. Caustic's traps, they're good. They're a little bit weaker now. Like they get destroyed a little bit easier than they used to, but let's be honest, guys. I can block a door. I can wait for you to come in and then pop it, and then you're gonna die. I can basically control the entirety of the inside of this building for free. You can put up to 6 Caustic traps on the map, which is a lot. So you literally just can be like, I'm never leaving this room. Gas. I'm never leaving this room. You can't make me leave. It's a little bit easy to deal with, and it's only really good indoors. Like when you're in the open, it's not as strong. I would be remiss to put it anywhere below A tier. So I'd probably put it like between Pathfinder, Revenant, and A tier. Pretty fair spot to put Caustic's traps, because that tactical is nuts. Up next, we have Watson. Watson's fences are good traps, but you know, you've seen better. I love that you can go pretty far with them now, but they're so easy to destroy. They're so easy to deal with. And on top of that, the cooldown is like weirdly long for them. I wanted to spam traps all the time. That would make her a lot more versatile. So just the traps on themselves, they're pretty easy to avoid. They're easy to destroy. You're not really gonna see people dying to traps. No one's walking into this thing going like, oh, I'm dying. Oh, geez, no, the traps. Like no one's ever doing that. Throughout this tier list, we've seen significantly better tacticals. And Watson's is a tad bit underwhelming. I'd probably put Watson high C tier, like C+. Please don't kill me, Watson mains. Please don't throw Nessies at me, Watson mains. I'm sorry. We're on to our last 2 legends. First one is Rampart. Rampart has one of the coolest tacticals in the game. Free walls, baby, free walls. These walls are so good. Not only do they provide cover and a one-way shooting direction, but this also amps up your damage. Like this is 14. That was 14. 12. See, look at that. You can also put down a ton. They're on an extremely short cooldown. I'm playing Fortnite, dude. How do you stop this? You can't. It's my little fortress. You can't come in it. It's mine. I genuinely think that this is a very solid tactical. Below Pathfinder, A tier. Fair spot for Rampart. Our final legend in this tier list, we have Catalyst. Catalyst is pretty interesting trap. It's not the strongest trap, and it's pretty easy to destroy and avoid. In some scenarios, it can cover the right amount of space. Like if I was just like chilling in here and say this was the only entryway. If this was the only entryway, like right here, I could like fully heal. They'd have to come in, like shoot this first, and then like try to kill me. It requires the players to play a lot differently than they normally would. You can only have 2 at a time, but 2 is all you need, man. 2 is more than enough. It does make it a little bit more versatile at holding down an area, especially when you hold it indoors, because when you hold it indoors, you can do that, or you can do it at an angle like this. So if they're behind the door right now, like, ow, ow, ouchie, ouchie, they'll get damaged. So it's like really versatile in that way. Where does Catalyst's tactical lie? I genuinely think it's between Caustic and Watson. And if Watson's in C tier and Caustic's in A tier, I'd probably put Catalyst close to the top of B tier. That is the Apex Legends tactical tier list. I've done the ultimates. I've done the tacticals now. Let me know in the comments down below if you want me to rank all of the Legends passives. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with my list or if you disagree with my list. Let me know which Legend you think I overrated or underrated. I'm very interested to see what you have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for vibing. And if this becomes a video, play the outro now.